Just a bunch of guys that have a nice time.
It's an outlaw outfit.
Party and camaraderie, good friends.
Entertainment, fellowship.
Gentlemen.
Good time. Great friends.
Hey everybody, let's have fun. You only live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. You better let the good time roll, baby. Oh, let's get it on, mama. And I don't care if you're old. Get yourself together, let the good time roll. Don't sit there mumbling, talking trash. If you want to have a ball, you gotta go and spend some cash and let the good time roll, baby. Oh, baby. And I don't care if you're old. Get yourself together and let the good time roll. Hey, 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 hey.
If you were big 50 years ago or in that era, you came here.
It's just all about having a good time. And on these weekends, we basically party from sun up to sundown.
Camaraderie, partying, and our trips, annual trips, weekend trips to different places around the world.
Hey y'all, tell everybody, Ray Charles in town. Got $1.25 and I'm just riding the cloud now. Don't let nobody play me cheap. I got a 50 cents more than I am gonna keep. I'm gonna let the good time roll. Oh baby, oh baby. And I don't care if you're old. Get yourself together, let the good time roll. Hey, no matter whether rainy weather, if you wanna have a ball, you gotta get yourself together. Oh, get yourself under control. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Mama, don't you treat me wrong. Come and love me, daddy, all night long. All right. All right.
Started because the founder of the club was not able to be admitted in the other club. You understand? So he founded this club.
Red, as he was called, Red Brooks, had a little problem with the organization that was already here in town that they wouldn't let him in.
Pinnacle Club.
And so he started this group, and one of the rules were that if you're ever a member of the Pinochle Club, you couldn't be a rogue. And that created a lot of animosity for a lot of years, because Pinochle Club for a while thought they were it.
This club was formed as a retaliation against another club that was established. And this was club started as an alternate to that particular club with a lot of stringent rules.
I happened to be a party with a group in Washington, D.C. on a plane. There was 3 or 4 of us on the same flight back, and we talked about what a nice weekend that was, that we're going to start the same thing in Detroit.
Black men, professionals, needed to exchange ideas, needed fellowship, camaraderie, to know that if something happened untowards in the city, you would have a group to call upon that would stand by you.
We didn't have opportunities to a lot of things that that Caucasian Americans had opportunities.
Doors weren't open to us till we went in and opened up many doors, like the Sheridan Cadillac in Detroit, or the Statler, to house blacks. And this has been true in other places across the country that we've gone to.
Everything was segregated. I remember first home I bought was on Glen Court. The owner said at the closing, "Mr. Jefferson, what you like about your block? No Jews and no niggas." So I got walked out. So what happened? He called and said, "Why did you walk out?" And I told him, "We don't use that word in my house." He called me the next day. I said, "Still no deal." Called me third day. He came down $3,000. I said, "You got a deal."
60-some years ago, I remember like it was yesterday, I came to this, I was selling beer, a Pfeiffer. I came to this place, came around to the back door. I came around there to see about something. They were one of my accounts. GHC is one of my accounts. And I never will forget a very distinguished looking man of color, someone like Mr. Pierce there, came to the back door. They sent for him, came in a tuxedo, and told me, "You need not come back anymore. We buy some of your beer, we give it to the help. We don't drink, you know." Pfeiffer was a local beer. I guess they drank Schlitz or something like that. Not to come here. But you show you how the carousel turns around. The world turns around, spins, baby. I am the first man of color to join this club who paid from this pocket, paid from his own pocket. So that shows you I went from the back door to the front door.
I was the only business person in either one. The rest of them were either doctors and a few lawyers.
And dentists.
And dentists.
Yeah.
They were so busy that this was supposed to be a place for fun only. We don't care what have you. We aren't selfish. We might be board members of the NAACP, the Urban League, this organization, this political party or the other. When they got to the Rogues, it was going to be a fun organization and no business was going to be discussed. He started out, it was the fellows' night out on Tuesday night, each second or third Tuesday of the month, and they played cards, either pinochle or poker primarily, until Wednesday or Wednesday afternoon or sometime, because they had Wednesdays off.
Successful professional person that has a history of doing things for the community and has a need for an organization as an outlet to do nothing, where any discussion of business is prohibited.
We understand the importance of socializing, partying, and just letting our hair down. But yet we get back to taking care of business. But one good thing about working real hard and being successful in business is so we can have a good time.
You think big, you live big, and you throw big parties. I love
We had the first big cabaret party at the Latin Quarter.
There were few places in Detroit open, and the Latin Quarter was about the most fashionable place in town.
You're correct.
It was
on that.
spectacular.
You're correct.
And
on
I
that.
think the Rogues were the first to use it. The wives and family members became fast friends.
It was a good evening for me to be out, and the comradeship with most of those guys, I'm still friendly with them, and I happen to be one of the older ones, but then we see each other. It hasn't changed. You go to the same party, same people. Yeah.
Wow. I bet ain't nobody here on the welfare. Gotta get my own tuxedo press.
Got a silver button on my vest. Tonight I've got to look my best. Lulu's back in town. Got to get a $50 somewhere. Shine my shoes, slick my hair. Got to get myself a boutonniere. Lulu's back in town.
There was comradeship, but there was a lot of disagreement about what things should be like, and things got sort of, how would I say, interesting at times, where the disagreement really got pretty heavy.
I ain't talking to you. I don't care whether you hear me or not. But we started the Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm sorry I brought you in the organization.
So we went to Islamorada in what was it, 1994?
94.
1994, and we have been traveling since that time.
Yeah, just like we used to stay
this
home.
This year is our first year
Returning to Detroit.
returning to Detroit. Celebration of our 50th. We had a good time in Casa de Campo, but the Paris trip I think is one that stands out for all of us. Even though some of our members had their pockets picked, it was a trip that I think every rogue at the time and the guests at the time will never forget. And many of us left the Paris trip and went down to southern France, to Nice and Monte Carlo. So it was great fun.
On my trip to Paris, I guess it wasn't funny, but my clothes didn't get there. My suitcase got lost, and I was walking around in the same clothes for about 3 days. That was one memorable experience I had.
The fact that we traveled together and we became the first travel club as such in Detroit.
We've been to a lot of different places, traveled with them places I probably would not have gone otherwise. And each place I went to, I enjoyed it, and it was just fun.
You meet other people from across the country. You go to their cities for one reason or the other, and it becomes a place of hospitality. You feel people, you know somebody there.
Being there with people from Detroit, friends in Detroit, and in a foreign country, and watching the reaction of the French and other foreigners to a group of black folks that looked like they were somewhat affluent. We enjoyed it.
You will see that around the country, we were probably the #1 social club. And I think what attests to that fact is that we are still around. Many of these fellows now are in different avenues, and they pierce the corporate veil in many different types of businesses.
I think it's an organization that will continue, because I believe there are people who need the experience of traveling, going places and doing things together. You know, people take trips and go on vacation and do things, but as a group, you go to a different place and you have a party there. You have enjoyment. You bring your friends with you, and I think that's something that will remain.
There were other clubs like the Rogues where the same kind of thing would happen, but I would say that the Rogues is one of the few surviving clubs that has full membership and is doing well.
I would like to wish the Rogues a happy 50th anniversary. It's something that I'm sure most of the founders had not expected to be around for this period of time, I'm sure. It's continued to make changes, evolve, and I think it will continue to do the same.
It's going to be a great evening, and I owe it all to you.
I'm glad you put it that way, because after the benefit, I intend to collect.